Hey everybody, and welcome to the RISC-V International Series RISC-V in 5, where we try and cover a topic in about 5 minutes. Today I want to talk with you about the RV Dev Connex, which is the RISC-V development container. We've got the website here. It is devcontainer.workswithrisc5.net. And if you scroll down, you're going to see that there's some information explaining kind of some of the things that we've done, why we've done them, how it works, or how we're intending for things to work. But fundamentally, this is a container, multi-arch container that supports x86 and ARM. We're looking at getting RISC-V working in the future, but that's going to require some extra tooling to get working correctly in RISC-V. With that said, it's pretty easy to pull down. It's pretty easy to connect to. You can see here, it's just podman run-ti-v with some directory paths and a /bin/bash-i. You'll get in. You'll have a Linux prompt. So if you're used to using Linux, you're going to have a lot of precompiled tools like GCC and make and other things that will be available for you and tuned and set up to work with RISC-V. And it does work with 32-bit and 64-bit architecture. So you'll be able to do a lot of cool stuff with it. With all of this said, I'm just going to show you, I've got Podman here. I'm currently running 1.16. I've been staying up to date. And if I come down to images, the important one here that you'll see is this image is multi-arch. So as you can see, it's 8.34 gigs. It's kind of large, but it has an awful lot of environment and system stuff in it to work multi-arch for x86 and ARM. And I'm currently on a Mac, so just showing you that this works. I did not need to create any volumes, which is a key thing to know. It's going to use your local file system, and it's going to use that local file system to save state. So if you're using Git or other tools for getting repos, you're going to be able to use those, be able to go in and work with them natively, and then create RISC-V 32-bit and 64-bit Arch compliant content. Other note is, we did spend time making this work in Podman because we wanted to make sure that it could work rootless and didn't require any special privileges. So if you have a constraint that you have to have a rootless container, please understand and know that this does work. However, any of these commands will work in Podman, no problem. So first thing you want to do is do a podman image pull quay.io edolnx /risc5_dev. And you'll, as usual, you'll see it go through and give you all of your checksums and hashes and things as it goes through and make sure you're on latest. I'm already on latest, so this worked pretty quickly, but I can understand this will take a little while because it's 8 gigs to download. With that said, I'll show you ls-al. I've got a whole bunch of different RISC-V Git repos already that I did some Git clones of. So I've got these locally. The command to actually mount my local directory so I can get in here is podman, and then it is run, and I'm just going to arrow over just so you can see the whole thing, but it's run -ti -v dollar paren pwd paren. We did this part so that this will work on any Unix systems, and in particular, we had to do it this slight tweak to it to work on Mac. But if you do this :/work, what's going to happen is it's going to take your current local directory and it's going to mount it into a work folder in the container. And then we're just giving it the path to the container that we did, and we're telling it we want to run bin/bash-i. So I'm going to go run that, and I am now in a full Linux environment. You can see it's telling me about OPAM and that we're using 2.2.0. An important thing about this container is we can, if we want to or need to, deliver multiple versions of different tools, whether it's GCC, OPAM, or other things. And as you CD around, you can tell it what versions of tools you want to be in using or environment variables you need set. So let's CD into work. And you'll see, if I do an ls-al, these are the exact same directories that I had before. We've got RISC-off, we've got sail-RISC-V, we've got all of these tools in here. And I have been going off and running things. And you can see here it says running as root is not recommended. We'll look at getting that fixed. But we can see here it's done a dir env export. And the magic that's making this happen is 2 tools. We've got MEIS and or ASDF, and we've got dir env. And if I cat.dir env, you can see we've just got it saying echo hello world, but if you have different architecture values, like you want to set the RISC-V architecture to 32-bit or 64-bit, you can absolutely set this in the .dir env, and when you cd into this directory, that will get created. Similarly, if I go cat out the tool-versions, you can see we've got the OCaml, OPAM, and Sail version that we want to make sure we're using to stay compatible with some of the different tools and things that we may be running with to get everything operating. And I'm not going to run make here, but I have done make. And I did create the C simulator in order to get everything working so I can actually run some tests. So if I go C into C emulator, you'll see I've got the RISC-V Sim RV32 and I've got the RISC-V Sim RV64. So I can actually do /RISC-V Sim RV64 and then go down to execute from the test. I can go into RISC-V dash. I got to make sure I'm just typing everything correctly. I can go RISC-V tests, and we can go through all of these. We're going to want to make sure we pick a 64-bit version because I'm calling out the 64-bit simulator. RV64 UA P L RSC.elf. When I run this, you can see it is actually running this RISC-V code through the simulator, and we're seeing we're getting all of the command stack, memory stack, and we're getting a successful run. I'm going to stop here because I feel like I'm probably well past 5 minutes, but I did want to put this together at least enough to start showing how you might be able to use this RV Dev Connex to be able to work with RISC-V. If you're on a Windows system or a Mac system running on Intel or ARM, it all seems to work great. Obviously, if you have any thoughts, suggestions, or anything else, we're happy to take them. Thanks for stopping by. Keep asking questions. We'll keep getting you answers. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.